This is difficult to talk about publicly for me, but for the last long while, I have had a big problem. It has been affecting my mental health, my physical health, and even my performance in the bedroom. I've been really dragged down by the fact that for the past 9 years, I have not owned a Honda Civic. But that changes today. I have got the absolute finest example available because of this fine man right here, Nicholas Plouffe.
Happy to help you in these trying times, Alex.
Oh, thank you so much. You've really saved me. If you guys haven't previously seen this Civic, it is a 7th gen, aka the absolute worst, but it makes up for that deficiency with what is under the bonnet, because in here we have a K24 that was swapped in by the amazing Brian over at Hasport and Mighty Car Mods themselves. On the trunk, it has this fantastic wing that was made for Aerofab specifically for this car, RIP dudes. And in the rear, we have a stereo upgrade done by yours truly. It also has a Haltech standalone ECU and digital dash that were installed by Dave and Josh from over there, so the install is perfect. But if this thing is so sweet, why are you gonna sell it?
Well, it's not perfect.
That's an understatement.
There's a bunch of random rust spots, and the fuel door doesn't really open with the latch.
Yeah, you can see where you've opened it with your key here.
Hell yeah. You gotta put fuel in there somehow. Why don't you hop in the passenger seat?
Oh, certainly. This seems really nice.
Yeah,
Can you let me out?
It's a gentleman feature.
That's not great.
all of the locks that you guys put in for the automatic locks, those basically don't work anymore.
Sweet, I expected that.
Yeah. The automatic window rolling down.
Doesn't work?
Don't roll this one all the way down.
Okay.
And there's a whole lot more, but this is probably one of my bigger gripes. As you can see, we've been getting a bit of mold.
You
back
can
in
smell
here.
it too.
Nice and fresh, yeah. And I'm not sure what's going on with the throttle, but in first gear, it's really touchy.
Yeah, it's funky.
Okay, good to know it's not just me.
Yeah.
I've also got a wheel bearing that needs to be replaced.
Yeah, that's fun. And we've only gone over like half of the problems. Even with all of these problems though, it was the single best car buying experience that I've ever had. The car didn't start, but he baked me cookies and they were delicious.
Yes.
All right.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's your guys' problem now.
Yay. Another problem slash feature is that this thing is unbelievably loud. All right, let's start fixing it. Andy, where do we even start with this?
The most difficult one.
Okay, that's probably wheel bearing. Let's do that. It is real nice having a Civic again though. These things are so easy to work on.
I doubt that.
Yeah, I doubt it too. Now the astute Civic enjoyers might have noticed that this right here is 5 lugs, even though this car originally came with 4, and that's because all of the suspension on this has been replaced with RSX components. So that's pretty good, although it does make finding parts really annoying because you don't know what came off of what car. And if you're wondering how to tell if your wheel bearing's bad, if it sounds like that, it's not good. I haven't actually looked up how to do this yet, but I think that you just take off the brakes and then you can hopefully pull it out. It was really nice of Honda to make sure that neither of these bolts are accessible with an impact. There we go. By the way, when your brake's off, make sure that you're not just hanging it off the brake line. It's probably fine, but like, don't.
Yeah, use a hook or zip tie.
That's not great.
That's a lot of friction.
Yeah. It hasn't even stuck, but it does that every now and then.
There we go.
Yay! Now the next step is to go to Canadian Tire and get a 32mm socket because we don't have one. Huge socket acquired, and now we can try and get this off. It did say on the packaging that this is not for an impact, so we're gonna use the breaker bar, and then if it doesn't work, we'll impact it. Wow!
Breaker bar.
All right. There we go. Huh.
That's it?
I was expecting a lot more trouble getting it off.
I was expecting a fight.
I was expecting a huge fight. Yeah, a new one looks a lot better, that's for sure. Wow, I didn't even have to whack that either. No. Our new one is hitting the wheel speed sensor, and it looks like the old one is, you won't be able to see it, but it's maybe like 0.5 millimeter smaller. This came with the car, so now I need to do a little bit of research and see what the heck's on the go here. Well, this is really cool. You see on the box right here where someone crossed out an 8 and wrote a 9? Well, we really need the part number that ends in a 9, and this right in here, it ends with an 8, which means this is a rear wheel bearing for a Honda Accord, and it does not work. You can see that we have our nut right here. Wow, that's nowhere near the right size. So Lord Co tomorrow will have the correct one for us, but we just need to move on. And whoever did this, go to jail. Huge thanks to Plouffe for sponsoring today's video. Keeping track of everything in meetings and conversations can be difficult, and it's easy to miss writing down key details even if you've been try-harding Mario Teaches typing. Like, I can easily remember the gist of a meeting a month or more later, but remembering that I need an O2 sensor part number 010746 immediately bounces off of my noggin, and without that, we can't order what we need. That's where the Plouffe Note Pro comes in. And when we're talking through something, we just hit record and it turns it into summaries and to-do lists that we can actually use later. Like, while working on a car, it is very easy to forget small things like reconnecting vacuum lines or bleeding the brakes before putting the tires back on, and with Plouffe, it can make us a to-do list while we're taking the car apart. Plouffe does this without affecting your phone's battery life like transcribing apps can, and meets high global security standards to ensure your data will stay secure and your data will not be used for OpenAI training. So make note-taking easier by clicking the link in the description and using our code for 10% off. There's also a 30-day return policy, so you can try it risk-free. Andy, what should we work on next?
Check the front.
Hell yeah. Now, at the start of the video, I mentioned that the 7th Gen Civic is the absolute worst, and that is because the suspension on it is terrible. So on Andy's really old Civic, it has excellent double wishbone front suspension, and for this one right here, it's McPherson strut. Now, Honda have improved that, and from the 8th Gen on, it was pretty darn good, but in this one right here, it's terrible. Now, we can look at this GitHub article by Tevensy, which is the kinematic curves of the Acura RSX rear suspension and the front end, so on and so forth. Basically, you get 3 degrees of toe change through the travel of the front suspension in this thing, and a large part of that has to do with the tie rods. To help address that problem, K-Tuned has sent us over some new tie rods. Now, this doesn't fully address our problems, but what it does do is flip it around. The basic idea is we flip the tie rods from being on the top of the knuckle to the bottom, and then with any luck, this angle that we have right here is much less, and we should have way less bump steer. Yeah, so here's a tie rod end right there. Flip it around, should be better. Very simple. There we go. Completely destroyed the old one. Okay, now to get at the rest of the tie rod, I need to come in here, and to get at that, we need to move the throttle out of the way, and while we're looking at that, we might as well just solve the problem with the throttle.
The current theme of the video is never finish anything.
Yeah, we're not gonna get a single thing done. Plouffe did mention how in first gear, sometimes you get these weird like surging and you don't really know what's going on. Well, I have figured it out. Because we have a Haltech, I can see my throttle position sensor %, and when I push the pedal, not a whole lot happens, and then a whole lot happens. What I realized is that this much travel right here on the throttle pedal just does absolutely nothing, and then you get into the actual thing. You can sort of feel it once you realize that, but it's not the best. Because this car has a Haltech, we switched it from a cable-driven throttle to electric throttle, which gives you a whole bunch of benefits like easier idle control and stuff like that. But this is a very strange solution that we have to accomplish that. Now, in modern cars, you just have a gas pedal that has a little like potentiometer on it basically, and that tells you how far it goes. But in this, we have a Civic gas pedal that goes to this element throttle cable into an Accord throttle position sensor thingy. My hope is we can just adjust the slack in this right here and it solves our throttle issues. There's nothing behind this bolt. That one is at least attached. And there we go. Yep, we can see our problem right here. That is incredibly loose. With any luck, we can just adjust this and then it's totally fine. Okay, no more slack. Now with any luck, we can put a riv nut in here. Yeah, and then the bolt can attach to that. I may have dropped the riv nut down underneath the fuse box. Ah, there we go. So we have a riv nut, bolt, 2 washers, and a nut. So you put a wrench on the nut, impact on the bolt, and you can just full send it and you have a riv nut. All right, we're buying a right angle impact tonight.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna suck. I'll probably just do this with a normal wrench and stuff. Ugh. Oh, I don't even know if this will work. Well, due to space constraints, we couldn't get the riv nut in, so instead, comically large bolt. You know, this is the real reason that I wanted this Civic. I need a car that I can just do whatever I want to and not care in the slight if it's done like correctly or well, or if it's the right thing to do. Here we can just full send it and be like, okay, well, it's not always getting worse. Cool. Okay.
Is it on the list?
God damn it.
Damn, we finished nothing. We have to write it up there and then cross it.
At the end of this nut, there's like a little washer that's smashed over so that it can't fall out. And now we have to whack that with a hammer so that with any luck, we can get it off. Pretty please, come on. Pretty please. We need to go and buy a new tool to get those tie rods off. We're just not completing anything. So I think we have to just go through the list, knock off some easy stuff so we can say that we did it and like feel accomplished a bit. This is our power steering reservoir. It's not attached to anything. Let's change that. Done. Right now, this arm that holds up our hood has nowhere to go and has been held in with this zip tie right here. Let's change that. And for whatever reason, buying 20 was like an order of magnitude cheaper than buying 1. Done. Now let's try and fix the fuel door opening. First step is pull this trim off. Ah, what a nice little nest. The problem we're having is this is supposed to be a push-pull cable. So you pull up, it opens the trunk, you push down and it opens the fuel door, but as you can see right here, it has broken, so it is only a pull cable. To fix that, we have this little guy right here from Doorman. It just simply clips over it and gives you push again. There we go. So now if I push it, aha, we did it! Up next, I want to look into the shifter. Right now it feels pretty decent, but as you can see, like it's in first right now and it has that much slop, and given we have like an entire billet shifter in here, it should not be doing that. So let's figure out why. I don't think that will be going back on. Unfortunately, it seems like we need to take the whole shifter apart, which means we need to take the whole center console apart. Also, always make sure to disconnect your interior RGB on your 8th Gen Civic when you're removing the center console.
Yeah.
That's out. Oh, I did it. And there is our shifter. Beautiful thing. My guess is there's an adjustment screw on the bottom here that allows you to tighten it up as it wears down. And I think that during that crazy week where we did all the mods, someone just loosened it. Just tightening the screw on the bottom made a huge difference. We had maybe an inch of slop side to side before, and now we have maybe a 1/4 inch. The thing I also want to do is just give this thing on the top a little flip around. Right now I find my arms hitting the seat quite a bit when I'm shifting, so I can move forward. I can't wait to just completely remove the interior of this. Like we could put the boot back on, or we could just not. There we go. Holy frig, is that ever better? Fantastic. Now I want to fix the very poor opening and closing of the windows by using some proper innovation. We're adding handles again. We're getting rid of the electronics. Hell yeah! If you're wondering why I didn't go with OEM door handles, it's because these ones were way cheaper. To remove the door card on a 7th Gen Civic, first you pop that off. And there's 2 screws there, and there's also 1 behind the door handle. I should have gotten 2 door handles. I was going to say that there's a little plastic clip in here that you have to be really careful not to break. It's gone, it just doesn't exist. This right here is the aftermarket solution for rolling up and down the windows, and it's awful. So it's just completely going away. We'll save a little bit of weight and they'll actually open now. There we go, get off of there. Oh frig, there's another thing that I need to take off. Oh no. There we go. Man, these are actually awful. Wow, it turns out that buying cheap things on the internet burns you sometimes. Well, we appear to be screwed. You can very easily buy window cranks for any generation of Civic before this one, but they are special for the 7th gen and they are also discontinued. So to replace this stupid thing right here, I guess we have to go to a junkyard and find one. So that is now out of the scope of this video. Just agony putting this back on there. One thing I am going to do though is lightly improve the door handle on this side and order another one. Here's my grand plan to make this work better. And with that hole, I can put a zip tie through it and make sure that this little thing that allows you to open your door doesn't fall off. It's going to be mildly annoying the next time I take this door off. Now we get to fix the passenger door, which I believe has the exact same problem as the other side, except we actually have spares for this one. So as we can see here, yep, it's just not attached at all. There should be a little plastic clip right here. Given how this has been going, parts that I bought for this car, I'm just so concerned aren't going to work, even though this one's like actually legit. Wait, this isn't the right color. So the thing that's important here is this tiny little super stupid and fragile clip. So if you break that, then your door can just not work. If you're wondering, they don't sell just these clips. You need to buy the whole door handle. Goes in there, this swings around, and now we should be able to open the door. Would you look at that? Why is the fitment of this so ass? It was like $40.
$40? Dude, the bottom. I can put my fingertip in there.
Wicked. It's day 2. I did a trip to Lordco, and with any luck, inside of this box is the correct part to fix our wheel bearing. All right. Why is there no nut in this?
We can reuse the old one.
We can reuse the old one. I don't love it.
Let's see if that fits first.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Seems correct at least. If anyone asks, we replace this. This guy gets torqued to 134. There we go. Can you hear that? All right. There we go. All right. Brake is back on and this should be all good. We also picked up this guy right here, and with any luck, we will be able to get the steering rack off now. Okay, that's on there. Might need to grind the tool a little bit. Oh! Or maybe I don't. Well, the steering rack started to turn, but now the wrench is just completely stuck in there, so that's cool. I don't have a good enough leverage. Oh,
it's moving.
Come on. We got it out with a screwdriver and some violence, so before this goes back in, I'm gonna grind off the bits that I thought we should have in the first place. And fortunately, now it can be removed by hand. All right.
Look at that.
And there's a tie rod. Now, one thing we don't have is a metal pipe. Jack handle. Hopefully this works. Oh, there we go. Side number 2. Going to adjust the new ones to be roughly the same size as the old ones, but because they're at a different angle now, the toe's gonna be wrong, so that'll be a fun drive to the alignment shop. Here we can see the new tie rod. So the old one goes in from the top, whereas this K-tuned one goes from the bottom and then has this right here that gets pressed in. So that should hopefully correct our bump steer, or at least make it not as bad. What do you think the chances are that I can get this in without losing that washer? Is it going in?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
All right, now it's stopped.
This gets torqued to 40 foot-pounds, which honestly seems kind of low to me, but that's what it says. There we go. Okay. Do you want to go in, pretty please? I am asking nicely. Turns out we need this tiny spacer on ours. Depending on your car, you may need it, you may not. We do. That seems good. This gets tightened between 34 and 40 foot-pounds, which to me is 40. As long as I can get this cotter pin in, there we go. We are good to go. Sure. Yeah, that'll do. The tie rods are done, but I am not done with the front suspension. To make sure that everything is as tight as it possibly can be up front, I'm going to be adding some new bushings from Flex. But these ones right here are not just any bushing. These are offset bushings, so it moves the mounting point just a tiny bit, and that's going to get us an extra ½ degree of caster. That should improve our handling a tiny bit, and also, these are really frickin' firm. Flex has their like normal street series. These are the black series that are meant for the track, because every single part that I put onto that Honda is going to be as hardcore as it can be and as uncomfortable as it can be. And because we're going to all of the trouble of taking those control arms out, I also got some bushings for the rear. Easy. There we go. On the bottom, you should have to remove a cotter pin to get this off, but there isn't one, so we'll be replacing that. Yeah, that was really on there. Really needed a separator for that one, just taking her off by hand. Come on. There we go. I need to chop a bit of this off so it can safely fit in the press, but also you can just use a jigsaw to get these out if you don't have a press. That other blade was so dull that this is like actually 3 times faster. 5 tons. Is it gonna go pop? It did. Wait, and it didn't even come out. What a dick. Dang it. That has quite successfully jammed itself in there. Sweet. We got most, but not all of the bushing, which is now holding the thingy in. Yay! I don't think this is gonna work. You know what? I've heard of another way to do this. It's pretty stupid. And we can't put this one in the press because of how it's like shaped. Oh, I just realized that there's a really big flaw in my plan. We don't have a collar that's small enough to go up inside, so it's like, okay, whatever, the nut can just go inside, but then I can't hold on to the nut. And he says this is gonna work. I think it's not going to.
Yeah, it should be fine.
I don't think it's gonna be fine. I think we're gonna get this stuck inside.
Probably fine.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it didn't work at all. Maybe a socket can bring us home. There we go. And now we get to do that all again. Before putting the new bushings in, you want to just give in here a little bit of a clean. This one's just a tiny bit of sandpaper and then some brake clean. Then thoroughly lube up your poly bushings. And then you can just use a vise to smack them in. Beautiful. And for the big guy, make sure that this like larger chamfer is pointed towards the bottom. You probably just put this guy in with a vise as well, but you know, we have these tools, so might as well use them. And we did use this method to get the second bushing out, and it was way friggin' easier than the press. Way less sketchy as well. Good lubing once again. Feel free to clip this. And this guy has to go in, and for maximum caster gain, make sure that the offset is pointing towards the outside of the car. Oh yeah. Now we can throw it back in, and I'm guessing that will require many dead blows. There we go. And of course it doesn't want to go in. Oh, with any luck putting this in, might make that other bolt want to go where it's supposed to go. There we go. This bolt and the one in the back go to 72 foot-pounds, and normally with rubber bushings, you'd want your car weighted, like sitting on the ground when you tighten these. With poly bushings, it just doesn't matter. And now with this cotter pin in, which I guess is an upgrade because it makes your car legal to take on the road, I believe, we are done with the front suspension. Cotter pins are done, front bushings as well, those are done, and I'm going to cross off stereo downgrade because we just fought those bushings for such an unbelievable amount of time that I'm not super concerned about that right now. The trunk release, did it release? What the f***? The fuel door works. Oh my God, did we break the trunk release? You come over here, look at this. I pulled up on it, and I don't know why, but the lock popped out and the trim that was around it. Like, what the hell? It better be open. There we go. Okay, so that works at least. It's just a bit of an issue. My plan for the stereo downgrade was that I was gonna come in here and take the DSP that is really sick and remove it. But we're gonna worry about that later when we actually have a project that it's going to go into. So for now, it can stay and we can have nice audio. Figured out what happened there. This lock was in the lock position. And instead of it preventing you from opening this, the whole thing just came up and out, but it seems to be good now. Oh, we're getting close. We just need to bleed the brakes, and then I've got a little bit of a surprise unless you've been looking at the checklist. Now, the brakes on this have been feeling a little bit soft, which doesn't make any sense because we have fantastic Wilwoods up front. So we're gonna change out the brake fluid and hopefully she's all good. All right, we've removed this wheel as a transition, and now we can go to the other side because that's the one that's furthest from the master cylinder. There are things that you can do to test your brake fluid and see if it's good, or if it's green, you just look at it and are like, yeah, it's green, we need to replace it. Drink up. On most brake calipers, you only have a single bleed screw and you just bleed from that. But on these fancy Wilwoods, there's actually 4 of them. Now, you only actually need to worry about 2. They have 4 so that they can just use the same brake caliper for both sides. And in both situations, you want to bleed from the top. So you do the outside first, then the inside, and you're all good. Brakes are bled. There was a little bit of air in the rear and the fluid looked awful, so it does feel quite a bit better. But one thing that we noticed while we were bleeding it is that this whole master cylinder moves a lot when you brake. Like, watch this. Yeah, it might need a little bit of bracing or something. Hell yeah. For the final modification, I got myself a bit of a treat right here. We have a brand new seat. There isn't really anything wrong with these seats other than the fact that they're very comfortable. We can't have any of that. No more comfort for this car at all. And also, when you go into a corner, you just fall out. You can't, it doesn't hold you in at all. It is a very pure commuter car seat. It has 0 bolstering, but that's gonna change. So we're upgrading the driving experience and the looks with this incredible looking seat from NRG. Oh my God, Andy, look how sparkly it is. It's red, and also the back, like I said, is very sparkly. It's so nice. My #1 recommendation for choosing the seats that you want are just sitting in a whole bunch of them, which can be difficult, but you might be able to figure it out. NRG seats that I've sat in before have been quite uncomfortable, so let's hope for the best. Oh, this is actually like kind of nice. This is like a good seat. It fits me really well. The large helped for sure, and the padding on the butt is actually quite nice. And when you install new seats in your car, you have to make sure that you also get new brackets for it. And as is the tradition of this video, I bought these brackets off of Amazon, and in the picture, it had sliders. Oh my God. In person, it doesn't. Removing a seat is as easy as 4 bolts, and if you can't reach the ones in the back or the front, just slide it forward so you can access them. And 4, that one didn't want to come out. When you go to take your seat out, just be careful of electrical connectors. There's definitely going to be one for the seat belt and maybe others for like heated seats and stuff. Well, this is stupid. The cables are just like managed directly onto the seat, so we need to rip them off before I can get this seat out. Honda, why wouldn't you just be like everyone else and allow these to just leave? Oh my God. Oh, there we go. I really hope that this fits up. Looks like it. Oh yeah, no problem. I just need to clean up because it looks like there's an actual turd back here, although probably actually bridge mixture. Oh my God, this is gonna be so low. And because we don't have sliders, we'll just set it up so that I'm a bit too close and Andy can barely reach. It looks like we have 2 options where this fits, there or there. Yeah, I guess we'll choose this one. All right, this better be close to where we want it, because if it isn't, we don't really have a choice. That's actually like absolutely perfect for me. I'm personally a huge fan of not dying, so we'll be transferring over the seatbelt as well. I played around with reclining a bit, and I think that I have the seat perfect, and she's good to go in. Just need to connect these cables. And with any luck, all of the bolt holes just line up.
Man, it's so sparkly in the back.
Oh
okay,
yeah, it's
I'll show you this way. You see the bokeh? Oh my God.
We might need to massage some things. A little bit of a mount lining up later, and the seat is in. Let's see how it is. Oh. Oh man, this is actually sick.
Race car.
Yeah, race car. and it's in the absolute perfect position for me. I'm sorry, Andy. Now, the one thing that does kind of suck about this seat is that it isn't FIA certified. So if we want to go into like more official competitions, we will have to swap it out, but that's a problem for long in the future. Can Andy reach the pedals? Let's find out.
How do I get it in? Yeah, like this.
You're making this a lot more difficult than it actually is.
Yes. Can I reach the pedal? Yeah. Yeah, I can reach the pedal.
Oh, sick.
It's not comfy, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I can heel toe pretty easy.
Sick. Oh, it's so snazzy. Look at that. It's my first bucket seat and I love it. With our seat installed, our checklist is done. But before we can drive it, we need an alignment, so to speed factor. After an alignment and the tech telling us it's the ugliest car he has ever worked on, here are our numbers. I was definitely hoping for a bit more caster, given that we added caster adders to it and we only have like 1.1 degrees on one side, so I don't know what happened there, but it should drive straight and hopefully well, but we'll see because it's 7 Gen Civic. All right, it's time to drive the purple turd and see if we have improved it. Now, huge thanks to Speed Factor for doing the alignment, and they did have to take a lot of camber out of the rear to get the toe correct, and I am guessing that's because the chassis of this is not straight.
Yeah, it's not symmetrical for sure.
The handling's a lot better, like it's way better than before. The steering feels tight, the coilovers I stiffened up a lot. The new bushings, they're doing a really good job at keeping everything nice and tight, but
don't hit a bump.
yeah, the handling's still not good if I'm honest. You hit a bump or you hit the brakes or you accelerate really hard and it just kind of starts going other places. It's really disconcerting.
This car is scary, you can say, because like you can't really predict like where it's going. Since we're cruising here, have you fixed the throttle issue? I don't feel like, you know, the first gear being that rough.
It feels so much better. Not only did we tighten it up there, but also I went into the Haltech and changed the mapping of like the throttle position to the throttle body openings. So it's really gradual now. Like the throttle body's like 5% open when you're at 30% throttle on the pedal, and the drivability is way better, so we have fixed that at least. But I did discover that it pops at a second sometimes. That's cool.
That's all great.
There's second gear. Where's second gear? Where's second gear? Where is second gear? There's third gear. Oh my god, I don't know if we have second gear.
Okay, so bottom round we did 29.65, and let's hear the VTEC.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. We don't have a second gear now.
We might not.
Oh,
That's actually a big problem.
no.
Nope, it's just popping out. So huge thanks for watching. Hit like, get subscribed, and
Have a fantastic day.
yeah, have a great old day.